introduction video for this video series on the principles. So I thought I would start by defining what mental fitness is, what it means to us as a company, what we're seeking to accomplish, who's it for, just a nice foundational setup so that when you get into these videos, there's a groundwork from which we can all begin that conversation and learn this system, because it is a system. So when I first thought about mental fitness and the concept for it, by trade, I was a college-educated personal trainer. So that was on the physical realm, the physical aspect, things to do with weight loss and strength gaining and performance. Well, there was a component to performance and results that was not explicitly physical. So somebody could lose 20 pounds, be in better shape than they were, and yet they were missing something. They were either sad, left unfulfilled, etc., etc. And we see the same thing with sports performance. The things like the yips or somebody getting nervous and choking and things like that. There's just purely an aspect of performance that is not physical. And so thus this concept of mental fitness sort of arose. And then when we sat and tried to look at the landscape of the environment for which our society exists to try to find other services that were really addressing these needs, we were hard-pressed to find something of substance. We were hard-pressed to find something that we thought was meaningful. And so we decided to go about this and create this idea and concept of mental fitness. And so we have a system by which we're trying to help people deal with life's tragedies. And so the way I explain mental fitness goes a little something like this. I try to make it something simple so that we can understand it and at least have that initial basis for a conversation. So if you think about your character, okay, when you think about your character as who you are as an individual, we essentially can, try to melt this down to either a series of habits or traits that make that up. And your character will go through life, and every single person that's watching this, every single person that's ever existed will have ups and downs of life. You have times of greatness, you will have times of happiness, and you will absolutely have times of tragedy and sadness. So your life is going to go like this. And essentially your character helps you filter your responses to the ups and downs. And if we are able to help individuals form a character that is well equipped to handle the ups and downs, we think that makes for a better life. So that's kind of the initial conversation. Obviously, this concept of mental fitness is a little bit more complicated than that, but we've created a system by which we think we can train individuals' character. And in this series, you will learn to understand our 10 principles that we think everybody should learn to bring into their character. And we also try to create a system by which we can rank these principles in a hierarchy structure so that if more than one of these principles comes into conflict, we have an idea as to which one should supersede the other. So again, this is a very proactive service. This is not going to be like a mental health service. This is not mental health. This is not a psychology lesson. This has nothing to do with that stuff. So just kind of put that for here for now. And this is what we're deeming a very proactive service and a way to train one's mindset and mentality. So what you're going to get, again, in the videos that follow, there will be our lead instructor and the course creator, Mike Dunn. So Mike Dunn is somebody, again, who will be discussing these 10 principles with you over the course of the next 10 videos. The videos in length do vary. Some are 5 minutes, some are 15, but they're usually falling within that range. We wanted to make this introduction something that had meaning to it, but also wasn't exaggerated or drawn out. We didn't want to make this a process that would be very difficult to consume. And so this is kind of what we've arrived at, is a condensed version, a taster as you would, something that just gets you introduced to these principles. And so Mike Dunn will be the guy that will be on the video for the next 10. I'll come back at the end to wrap it up with you guys. But I want to give you guys some pointers on how to listen to these next 10 videos so that, again, you're getting the most out of it. This is going to be very counterintuitive to what our society is doing right now with things like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. This is going to be a different type of video. We tried to make it, we definitely didn't want to come across as boring by any means, but we're also not going to be out there doing ridiculous circus acts or circus tricks or cool, like a studio set with all the lights and the bells and the whistles to try to make sure that we're standing out on production. or we're trying to be like funny on purpose to win you over. We're trying to make it simplistic, but at the same time, this is an educational course. Like, this is an educational video series. This is not something that you should watch if you want to feel entertained in bed, you know, as you're lying in bed getting ready to fall asleep. This does require some attention. Some of these things that we are discussing have not been discussed for a very long time. You may have flashbacks to high school or college, to a philosophy course or a history course. And while I do admit that those things typically can be found to be boring, especially done in our classical educational system through school, we are trying to avoid that. So we hope by having it to be condensed to, you know, probably on average 8 to 10 minutes, we can hold your focus for that time, get across our message, and have you learn to think critically about it in a way that would lead to great discussion and dialogue. So before I, again, end the video, I want to make sure I mention that we will be doing a podcast in addition to creating these video series on YouTube. So the podcast is going to be found obviously on any of the podcasting platforms as well as our Facebook page. You know, we'll put that in the link in the description below. The podcast is to be a supplement to the course. We think the podcast is going to be a way more laid back approach. We're going to be discussing things like current events, you know, how to apply what you're going to learn through like the principles into actual life. You know what I mean? This isn't like, that's not going to be all theory and just, you know, these discussions about very advanced topics. Like, we're going to try to make it, that'll be something that's more of a conversation you would have with a friend at the bar or in your house with your family members. A little more laid back approach to it, not as what I would call heady or something that is, you know, that requires a lot of attention to focus in on. So be sure to check the links for that as an expansion upon this course. And lastly, I do want to say thank you. We appreciate your attention, the opportunity that we have to showcase these 10 principles to you. I think that you're going to find them remarkable. I think you're going to find them very thought-provoking. And it's my hope, again, that this becomes the initial groundwork that we can all have to have a discussion about how to handle life's ups and downs. Because if you look out there in the social media right now, everybody has an opinion, okay? And, you know, we have all sorts of responses and ranges on, you know, left, right, up, down. It seems to be all over the place. Well, we're trying to fine-tune that as best we can. And we hope that this hierarchical structure of principles, once you come to learn them, will help you go through life, that'll strengthen up your character, will help you make decisions based off of something rather than the whims or the emotions of the time in that very moment. Because I think that's something we can all relate to. Every single person watching this video has gone through a time where we behaved unlike ourselves. We let the moment get to us. And so, again, this system is a way that we think can help you in those exact moments to make the right decision. The last tip I'll give you is how to watch these videos. They're not long. They are not long. But I will tell you right now, if you've got other distractions going on, if you're looking at emails, if you're watching TV in the background, if you're trying to cook in the kitchen, you're going to miss out on the video. It is more of a topic, again, that's going to be educational focused. Again, there's not this entertainment factor all over the place. The video is very plain. It's very straightforward. It is very simple. You might not like all the lighting and, oh, look at the words. It's just, but again, that to us is not the important part. The important part is the actual discussion or the video topic itself, the words coming out of Mike Dunn's mouth. So just take the 5 to 10 minutes for that video. Watch one a day, one a week. If that's all you can handle at a time without feeling overwhelmed, cool. On the other end, there's going to be people that are going to love this style. They're going to be able to plow through all the videos very quickly, one day, get it done. But again, for us, it's an ongoing educational topic. This isn't something that you're just going to learn it magically and all of a sudden you're a mental fitness expert. So even myself, as you know, the CEO of the company, Mike Dunn as the lead instructor, every single day we have to work on our mental fitness as well. And we hope, again, that you'll love this series and you continue to follow us on the podcast and other social media channels so you can continue to develop your own mental fitness. Thanks.